Okay. Sometimes God says something about us in the scripture, and I just shake my head and I think, what are you talking about? Like, what am I missing? How is that even possible? I'm reading Ephesians chapter 3. And the whole chapter is about this incredible plan that God has for the nations, for the Gentiles, and the mystery that is being made known. And then God says this phrase in verse 10. Paul is writing and he says, his intent, God's intent, was that now, through the church, that's us, through the church, the manifold wisdom of God should be made known through the church. The manifold wisdom of God, the unfolding wisdom of God is made known through us, through the ways that we talk, through the actions that we engage, through our social media accounts. Through the church, God's plan is for the manifold wisdom of the triune mystery to be revealed to the world. I don't know about you, but whenever I've looked around board meetings at churches or on a Sunday morning, or even whenever I just, look in the mirror, my first thought isn't, well, my goodness, there's the manifold wisdom of God staring right at me. No, I look in the mirror and around those settings and I think, what is happening? It's interesting to me that the way that we see ourselves is in pretty stark contradiction to the way in which God sees us. Like sometimes God will give us titles, and I shake my head going, how can you call me that? How can you call me child of God? How can you call me co-heir with Christ? How can you call me beloved? How can you call me the body of Christ? How can you suggest that I am a part of the manifold wisdom of God being revealed to the world? Because I don't agree. Because I can't see it in myself, because I can't see it in the pews, because I can't see it. And the Lord says, if you would just see what I see, if you would just trust what I see. This is a conversation that I've had with my kids multiple times throughout the years, but one that I'm having quite often with my youngest, Robert. Robert, man, he is so full of life, and he loves in a way that is beyond tender. It is insightful. It is piercing. Just the other day, my wife got news that her Nana was dying. And we told each of the kids, and Robert was taking a nap at the time, but when he woke up, we told Robert, and his response immediately to Sarah, to my wife, was tears welled up in his eyes, and he just said, Mom, I am so sorry. His tenderness is so insightful and piercing. But he has a hard time trusting what we see. He has a hard time whenever 7:30, 8 o'clock rolls around and his older brothers and sisters are staying up, but he's being put to bed. And I have to go in there and tell him, son, you're not being punished by going to bed. I'm actually protecting you. Because if you don't get your sleep, you wake up and who you are is clouded, for you're not loving. Instead, you're picking at your brothers and sisters. Instead, you're flailing whenever your mom asks you to do something. Instead, Robert, I need you just to trust what I see. I feel like in this passage today, that's what the Lord's asking me. This was not one of those days whenever I sat down at my chair and felt like the manifold wisdom of God. Instead, it was one of those days where I sat in my chair asking myself the question, what are you even doing for the kingdom? What is it that you've done for the Lord? How is it that you can be so lazy? I struggle with the self-critical thoughts. And yet I flip open my Bible and I look at Ephesians chapter 3 and I see the Lord saying to me, Shane, just trust what I see. For it was his intent that now, through the church, through people like me and you, that the manifold wisdom of God should be made known to the rulers and authorities in the heavenly realms. My challenge for you this week is this. Meditate on Ephesians chapter 3, verse 10, and embrace who it says that you are. Don't try to strive to be the wisdom. Simply immerse yourself in the Spirit. Simply saturate yourself with the Word. Simply bow your knee to the King and trust what He sees in you. For He looks at you as daughters and sons of a King who have been not just commissioned, but who have been gifted with the title, the manifold wisdom of God. And throughout the rest of your week, may it be so. I love you guys. Have a good week.